Welcome back. A Captain Cook memorial in Melbourne will be permanently removed from a public park because the council says the cost to repair it after vandalism isn't justifiable. The monument was repeatedly targeted between 2018 and January 2024, where it was put in storage after being toppled on Australia Day. Now the Yarra City Council says it won't return, citing a cost of $15,000 to fix it, with more than $100,000 already spent to maintain it. That's in the last 25 years. For their take, let's bring in 7 News reporter Nick McCallum and Sunshine Coast Mayor Rosanna Natoli. Good morning. Nick, we'll go to you first in Melbourne. What do you think about this move from the council?
Well, I do have sympathy for the council. My number one principle is no, they should repair it, put it back up there and make a statement. But I do have sympathy because if you actually look at it, it is basically a small piece of granite with a plaque with Captain Cook's face on it. Spending $100,000 on that. We did a story last year when it was graffitied for the last time. And a lot of people didn't even realise it was actually there in Edinburgh Gardens. So I do have sympathy for them. But we must also stress, put this in perspective, the two major Captain Cook statues in Melbourne on the St Kilda foreshore and the Fitzroy Gardens have both been graffitied and cut down by vandals over the past couple of years, and the councils in both those circumstances repaired them and put them back up. There has to be a statement against these vandals. Whatever your opinions on Captain Cook and European settlement, this is not the right way to go about it. I feel for the council, $100,000 over 6 years on this sort of stuff is a lot of money in these times, but I think they should be making a statement and saying, no, we put it up, you don't influence the community this way. Yeah,
well, the community paying for it. It's very difficult, because we've heard both sides of this argument many, many times. Rosanna, you are a mayor. What would you do?
Well, let's just acknowledge this is really, really tough because it is costing a lot of money, and today, $15,000 does not buy you anything in terms of council land. So it could easily be more than $15,000 each time you're doing that. So that is really difficult when you're making those decisions. I think it is also a shame when budget beats tradition. So we have to really be careful with that. You carefully spending the ratepayers' money and carefully looking at the signals you're sending. Because if we let vandals control the direction of society, then what are we falling for? It needs to be a community-driven initiative, not vandal-driven.
Yeah, very difficult there, isn't it? Moving on, there's some surprise and somewhat alarming new statistics about our phone addictions and driving. New figures out of WA show that 42% of people would find it harder to give up their phone for a year than a car, while 39% say they would rather give up social media than speeding. Nick, how much of a worry is this?
It is a major worry. I am, as you well know, a technological Neanderthal. So I just don't get this. I don't understand it. It's a very unpopular point of view, but I think the next major road initiative, if we want to get serious about cutting it down from the way it is at the moment, the toll, has to be technology which turns off or makes your phone, your iPad inoperable except for emergency calls once you're inside your car. You speak to road safety experts, they say that is the way to go. That will cut the road toll dramatically. As I say, it'd be unpopular. It'd have to take a courageous government to do it. But remember, Victoria is the place where they introduced compulsory seatbelts. I remember 1970, 1,061 people died on Victorian roads. Last year it's down to 282. Of course, a large part of that is seatbelts. I think we could have a large chunk of people walking around next year who would have been dead if we can somehow prevent the use of mobile phones and iPads in their car. Because clearly, as you point out, it's an addiction. People think it's okay until they're involved in an accident, or even worse, a friend or a relative is involved in an accident.
And Rosanna, unless you're on some sort of P plates, you can talk on your phone usually in most modern cars. So these are people obviously picking up and wanting to answer somehow on social media, aren't they?
Yeah, and if you think about it, it used to be, you know, wallet, keys, phone. Now it's just phone, phone, phone. You don't go anywhere without your phone. Young people and not so young people are checking them constantly. It is more important to be connected through Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook, whatever your poison is there. That is more important, it would seem, than safety on the road. And it is so easy to be distracted. And our cars make that easy too now. You know, modern cars keep you inside the lanes. It is getting easier and easier to be distracted, and that is going to have serious implications for us when, you know it is a major risk to life being distracted in the car. So it's tough.
I think you're right, Nick, so that they can maybe, you know, cut out when you get in the car unless it's just, you know, talking on the phone. We might ask some people in the know about that. Finally, a newly engaged couple has gone viral on social media after he proposed to her while attending another friend's wedding. It's been described as the ultimate sin, made even more shocking when it was revealed he didn't ask for permission. It was spur of the moment. He just did it. Nick, I think we need to make this a public announcement, a public service announcement to all men watching. Do not propose to your girlfriend at someone else's wedding. Don't you agree with this?
Well, to me, it's a beautiful thing. Now, yes, because we're talking about it in Melbourne or the Gold Coast or in Sydney. This happened in Florida. In the old days, it would have just happened. It would have been everyone there loved it, apparently. They checked with the bride and groom. They were all fine. It's gone nuts around social media. That's it.
No,
it's a beautiful moment.
Rosanna,
They want to do it.
could you come in here with some reason?
No. This is absolutely no way should you be doing that. That is not your time. Plus, for that poor now fiancé, her big moment is tied into someone else's wedding day forevermore. So, no, find your own space. He was clearly overwhelmed in the moment, flooded, love in the air, but so was awkward silence.
And that's beautiful if you get overwhelmed in the moment.
Yeah, get overwhelmed in another moment, Nick. You know, he was apparently going to do it the night before, and then he, I don't know, chickened out. And then, and the bride, you know, she probably just says she's okay. He looked at the flowers, thought, oh, that's a good background. I don't know what he thought.
I don't know. He clearly didn't think.
Yeah,
well,
sorry.
And that's what love is all about. You don't think. You just do it spontaneously. I made the mistake of proposing to my wife in a back lane after going to the movies to see Ghost with Demi Moore and Peter
back lane.
and Patrick Swayze. A back lane, and for years everyone said to me, "What were you thinking? How romantic is that?
You're
back
so
lane?"
romantic, Nick. We cannot take your advice on this one, obviously.
What she said. Okay, Nick. We'll remember those on the romantic stuff. Don't listen to Nick. Thank you very much.
You're not the first person to say that.
Some
let
of
me tell
that.
you.